guys, you're back in another video, and today we're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw, the Monday Night Raw before WrestlePalooza, which is very interesting to say the least. And to open up the show in his hometown, John Cena was there at Raw. It was a very great homecoming. That crowd was loud for John, and he deserves it 100%. This last time, I think this might be one of his last times coming to Massachusetts as, the wrestler in Raw. And he made the most out of it. Building up the match on Saturday with what's his name? Brock Lesnar. And that right there was this is the last time we're going to see John Cena. This last year is going to be the last time we see John Cena in a ring in a wrestling capacity. And wow. Okay. All right. Great way to hype up Palooza. I mean, John really was like, I don't know if y'all peeped it, but it was most definitely like, I've never picked my opponent. I never was going to start picking my opponent. It's about what is good. I guess he's thinking about what's good for business and what is, whatever they're going to give him, because at the end of the day, he's doing it for us. He's doing this retirement tour for us, because he could just leave. He's one of a more noticeable actor now in the DC universe. He could just leave, but no, he decides to stay for the crowd. He decides to stay for the people. And out of everybody, even though, sure, there's some greed with that. It's some human greed, you get some chump checks up. But honestly, John Cena is one of those people that you could tell he's doing it for the people, because in his heart, he knows, if it was not for the fans, he wouldn't be there. And I really respect that about John. And really, he gives, he's a man of his word. So I'm upset that he's a man of his word, because that really means that he will not be back wrestling again. And for it to be a match I just don't know the direction they were going with this Brock Lesnar feud, because we didn't need Brock. We did not need Brock Lesnar. And especially for it just to be John Cena hyping up the match, because the obvious, it's kind of disappointing. But if they were going to put in a way to bring back Brock Lesnar for, just dip his foot in the water, of course, you got to become a heel, and of course, you have to have him go against somebody like John Cena for it to, one, be all right, I guess, and two, for it to be okay, those folks that don't like Brock, they can boo all they want. It's still good heat, which is not. It's not really good heat. But John, I love that man. I really have more of appreciation now that I'm older for John Cena. But next into the night, we had Lyra Valkyria versus Roxanne Perez, and they used to go way back. So this match was really good. This match was hype, and honestly, Lyra has a lot on her plate, okay? She has a lot on her plate. She won the match between Roxanne, which, it was a harder time. She had to work for it. Don't get me wrong. But she got her behind beat after that. The win don't even matter at this point. When you have when you have a gang with this person, it don't matter. And honestly, I am really getting tired of these folks stepping into a minefield, because that's what they do when they go against somebody with a whole group behind them and no honor. There's no honor. And she was very lucky that Bayley was there to help her. Now, was it a surprise that it was Bayley? Yeah, because the last time I checked, they were on shaky ground. Last time I checked. And Bayley snapped into the hugger Bayley, started hugging everybody except Lyra. I did peep that. She hugged everybody. I don't know if she hugged Lyra. I think she didn't hug her, but I could be wrong. But she was hugging everybody. Hugged the announcer, hugged Alicia Taylor, hugged the announcer, hugged Alicia Taylor. She hugged the commentary team, everybody. What would really have got me if it was Michael Cole and she hugged him. Then I would be oh, all right. This persona thing, whatever's going on in Billy's head, this is serious. This is really serious, because Michael Cole, okay, that's weird. But later on after that, Lyra, of course, being the girl she is, went to backstage to, say thank you. She was throwing herself against the door. I don't know. There was banging, everything. She's talking to herself, all that good stuff. And that she decides to come in, and Bailey over here on the couch acting like Lyra just didn't hear everything that she heard. And it was not Hugger Bailey, it was Heel Bailey, and she said, "What's wrong with you? You could have knocked at my door." All this. I don't know the direction they're going with Bailey, and I don't know, like, how is that going to pan out? How is this going to pan out? Are you just going to be are you going to have, like, two sides to you? Like, then what? What's the end game? What's the goal? How did this even start up? Because this is the first time we've seen Bailey actually have two sides of her personality. It's never been like that for the whole time of her life that she had two sides. It's always been one. So what sparked this? I'm interested in that. I feel like they kind of dropped the ball with that because it's a whole lot of. But it is what it is. We had Penta versus Kofi Kingston because of their whole feud going on with the New Day and them. Kofi Kingston, he lost. Kofi lost. But this is a time for me to appreciate Kofi Kingston because that destroyer, I'm like, he sold it perfectly. Kofi Kingston, he has to be a two-time Hall of Famer, okay? The way that man go, he has to be a two-time Hall of Famer. But the numbers don't really work sometimes. The numbers don't really work. And that is just so interesting to me. When it comes to Penta, there's some times where numbers don't work. If they acting stupid, the numbers don't work. Now, Xavier, he's on the mend, so maybe that's why the numbers didn't work. But I really like the New Day, even though they are not in a place where I feel as if they would maximize their turn. They didn't really maximize their turn, but they are constantly on TV and constantly having these moments where I'm intrigued, I'm interested, and for that is pretty good. I give them their props for that. I just really think creative could have did something different with them and made it a bit more interesting. This Grayson Waller thing is quite interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that. But I would have always believed, you know what, Waller needs to go with some vet. He needs to go with some vet for a little while to do something. I don't know. Maybe before we could see. That was my belief. You know, I always thought he would be decent with Miz. Him and the Miz would have been great. But neither here nor there. AJ Lee, CM Punk, Becky Lynch, and Seth Rollins. This is their face-to-face before Saturday, before the mixed tag match. We could tell some things about two couples. What I have Punk. I agree with Punk. They both, Becky and Seth, have huge egos. Because y'all couldn't come down one song and decide one song was good enough. No, you had to do two songs? Really? Why are we wasting time? You know, quit messing around. Okay? We're wasting minutes. But it just tells the type of characters they have. I think this moment was a way to kind of get the bones of what we will see on Saturday with the dynamic between the two groups. AJ Lee has, for somebody who has not been on the mic for 10 years in the professional wrestling and her persona of AJ Lee on a whole mic in front of, for a promo, that woman has it. She literally has it, never lost it. The way that I like the fact that she has aged up the AJ Lee character while still remaining the integrity of not being herself, but being AJ Lee. And that slap was a long time coming. I really want her to slap Seth Rollins, but I guess one time is fine. But the whole, Seth Rollins and Becky, they have it. They got it. They got the character. They got it. Because after he got slapped, he looked at Becky like, okay, man, I got somebody. And she looked, You got who? Who do you have? Because you're not me. Me? That was hilarious. And in that whole moment, those two had the most trickery going on because they just wanted AJ to be alone in that ring. They wanted to create some confusion for them to get the ahead on them. And that is the type of thing we're going to probably see on Saturday. I just hope AJ and Punk are able to keep that in mind and understand how these two are going to work. Especially because Seth knows him so well. And honestly, CM Punk knows Seth well. The wild card is going to be their wives and how that's going to go. Which, of course, they made it a little better. Of course, they made this feud a little bit better. A lot better. You know, we had a whole AJ Lee return out of it. Kairi Sane versus Stephanie Becker. Kairi gold. Kairi is gold. Kairi is gold because this match was good. This match was good. I liked the match. It was good. It was most definitely, I think what was really interesting is because Asuka's the reason why Kairi was in the match. My head, I kind of believe that Asuka was just sending Kairi out to test the waters. She was testing out the waters when it comes to Stephanie. And no, but Kairi, she fought hard. Kairi fought hard. It just wasn't enough for Stephanie Becker. It wasn't enough. Which, of course, you know, if she gonna come for the title, she better be able to take out Kairi. She better be able to take out somebody that has not been in that women's main card picture. She better be able to take her out. And that's what happened now. It didn't make Asuka feel any good. Asuka didn't like that. Asuka was gonna be Asuka. But Io Sky ran down in that ring and stopped that. She stopped that from happening, which really builds this up. And I tip my hat off to creative because this right here, I believe, keeps Asuka in that main card because now, no matter what way this goes on Saturday, whoever wins that title will probably be going against Asuka. Most definitely will be going against Asuka, honestly. And hopefully, it's an Asuka win. Hopefully, it's an Asuka win. I want to see her with the title. I do. But what I can see that with what that dynamic and how it's the Io is slowly distancing herself because, you know, there's only so much you can take. And that right there, I see that happening. I see them kind of separating. What happened with Kairi? She's in the middle of it. She's taking beatings and getting yelled at. So Kairi, I think she's kind of made her team, but at the same time, she's in the middle of it. I'm just excited for what's going to go on with that. Even the match, even Rhea Ripley, she's putting her hat in the ring, which I am not upset Rhea Ripley's not in the picture. I like it. I like it. I do. Now, earlier into the night, Jimmy and Jey Uso had a little bit of a, friction with LA Knight. More so Jay in LA, which turned into a whole lot of, you know what? I was getting my receipt. Okay, get your receipt back. And LA Knight asked Jimmy for help during the main event. Jimmy said no. But Jay wanted to be all Roman Reigns, and as Jimmy Uso has said before, he's not nobody's. So, of course, he said, you know what, bet. LA, you want a partner? You got one. So, that is what we're going to see in the main event. Which, obviously, Jey Uso is turning into he's positioning himself in a way that he's going to be able to be, I won't say used, but influenced by Roman greatly. Because I believe he was on the phone with Roman Reigns and lied to Jimmy about that, which... not a great sign at all. Not a great sign at all. This is what irritates me, Brad. El Grande Americano. Louis Kaiser, El Grande. Good. I like him. Okay, I like him. Dang. So, when he came down that ring, I was in shit. I was seated. Like now, I wouldn't be mad at getting a mask of his now, because it's serious now. It's serious. Dragon Lee, of course, gets screwed over by Americano, which we got to find something out with that. He got to get the LWO on his side whenever he against El Grande, because it's like we're doing the same thing over and over again. And now, even though AJ Styles attempted to help Dragon Lee, which AJ bet he's returning a favor, but no, that didn't work. It didn't work at all, because he had two El Grandes Americanos. Like, what are we doing here? Are they? I think they're kind of henchmen. I think they're henchmen. I don't think they're Grandes, but I could be wrong. I think they're henchmen, and that is the way Ludwig and Americano was able to win. Sad, but true. Very sad, because I didn't want to see that, but it is what it is. Drake Lee gonna have to bring something to work or something. Exterminator, you gotta do something, because I'm not liking this. And as I was talking about with the main event, we playing the same thing over and over again. We're doing the same thing over and over again, okay? And now they added Jimmy to the mix, and now what? They want somebody to be able to get the one who do the pin, who gets pinned? I feel like it's messed up. Jimmy Uso, because of Jay trying to be like Roman, which he ain't got no little follow on his neck, like Jimmy said, caused him to say yes to a match to help LA Knight, which does put Jimmy and Jay in a bad position, considering the fact they have a tag team match against the two on Saturday. But I mean, it's enough time to heal. It's not like Jay. Like Jay it's like him. No, Jay had like 48 hours. He had like a day to get up, to get ready. No, Jimmy smart about it. Okay, he could have did both. He could do both. But like I said, was not the best idea, because he got pinned. He got pinned, and it was like the same scene as we saw last Monday, but this time LA Knight was the one who got the attack on Jey Uso. So I'm guessing possibly maybe we have a match between Jay and LA next week. I am kind of conflicted. I don't think this is Jay turning heel. I don't know. We're gonna think about it. But you guys let me know how you guys felt about Raw. I mean, we did have Dominic Mysterio with his Mega Championship, which means he is the Mega Intercontinental Champion, which I was excited to see that whole thing go down. And Rusev is the #1 contender, so we're going to see how that match goes down. El Grande might be involved in that, but and Judgment Day is not happy about that at all. But you guys, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!